Hi, this is part two this week. I'm going to be mainly focusing on the second discussion board. So, like we talked about on Monday, the discussion board for the creative nonfiction is all about presenting a story in this creative fashion, um, but still, that's true to life. So, if you notice the prompt here, create a brief original story about an ordinary experience and use creative format to cover it. So, basically what creative nonfiction means is that this thing that you're writing looks like a fiction short story. It has a theme, it has maybe dialogue, it has all the components of fiction, but it's based on true events. That's it. That's the main difference. And so when you're writing it this week, you might want to think about how to present maybe some of your main ideas or just to kind of write about fiction. So I've included a PowerPoint called Indirect or Direct Characterization. This is basically this idea of show and tell. Okay? So direct characterization is when you directly reference something. For instance, the man was mad at Starbucks. Okay, I'm directly telling you how the man what acted, how he felt. Whereas the man nervously paced up and down the sidewalk. There, I'm not directly telling you the man's emotions, but you could sort of tell by him pacing that you would expect him maybe to be nervous, anxious, maybe some other type of emotion. So that would be indirect. You're telling us about the man's emotions rather than directly stating them. And so when you're writing, um, you might have always heard the sort of phrase, show, don't tell. And that's good advice to have. But I think if you'll even read some of your favorite authors, like I love Dave Eggers, and he does a lot of telling. So it doesn't mean that you can't ever tell someone's emotion. Um, the other thing to think about too, J.D. Salinger, another favorite of mine, he does mainly showing. He never tells. I just read Perfect Day for Banana Fish the other day, and I've read it hundreds of times, not literally, but there's a scene at the end where the main character gets upset for someone for looking at his feet in the elevator after they just come from the beach. And so right there, I just thought that was a great example of indirect characterization. You might sort of, think about indirectly, why would someone get upset if you were looking at their feet? Are they self-conscious? What sort of emotions does this person feel? So that's something maybe you should think about when you're constructing this post is not just telling your story, but how you're telling your story. And the way you tell it in terms of indirect or directly stating things can really shape the way that we feel and experience your story. So that's just something to consider this week. If you have any questions on the PowerPoint itself, um, maybe want me to narrate it live for you or something, just let me know. Other than that, just keep on working on the boards this week. And again, if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email or the instructor page. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.